Hello, everybody, and welcome to our fourth episode of Passwords Journal. Today, we have a guest who has over 25,000 followers across all platforms, one of my best friends in the whole wide world. Please welcome Rarepair.
Hi. Thank you for having me on here. This is such an honor.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm glad to have you on. I'm sorry that this was so rushed, and timing could have been better on my end, but things happen. They but I promise if I ever have you on again, it'll be on a lot better timing.
You're all good. Timing was bad on my part too. I'm not gonna lie. There's just a lot of stuff going on, um, like trips and stuff that just happened to be in like a wrong time span and everything.
Yeah, but let's just get started into the podcast right away. And I'm gonna ask you like I know a simple question that I ask pretty much everyone who's like been within the art scene that I've had on so far. I had on Hollow, I had on Crash, and I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked them. How did you get into art?
How did I get into art? That is a good question. Originally I wasn't really into art. I just thought it was like I thought if I got into art, I'd be poor and I wouldn't have a job doing something that I enjoy. Well, not that I enjoyed art from the beginning. It was something that I really didn't expect to get into. My uncles were always really good artists. They were sometimes they would like tattoo themselves a lot, and they would always draw a lot. And I was just like, wow, I wish that could like be me. But I never thought it would until like, well, now that I look at myself, it's like, oh, it is me, and now I draw with them. But when I was a kid, I was so jealous. And it really started when this is gonna sound embarrassing, but it started with comic dubs. I really, really liked comic dubs a lot when I was a kid. And I really wanted to recreate the style of like a lot of the comics I saw. So one day I redrew one of the panels I saw and I showed it to my family and they thought it was like really good. And in my head I thought if I could recreate something like this every single day, then I would become a better artist. And for like a year and a half, I redrew a drawing every single day, um, until I started like to branch off for myself, and like that's when I really started doing art.
Yeah, and speaking of like comics, what was your favorite one? That if you can remember, which one is the one that really got you into drawing art, and which one was your favorite to redraw?
Okay, so I'm gonna do like a little preface warning here that they're very controversial now. I don't really know the name of the artist. I just know the name of their comic, but I know like they're not a good person. But when I was a kid, I didn't really know that, and when I when I heard the comic dubs, or not the voice actor, just the artist. When I saw the art, I was like very inspired as a kid. But now that I look back on it, it's like really bad. But I don't know if you know the comic Bendy and the Quest for the Ink Machine, but that comic and like the comic dubs of that comic specifically was like my goat as a kid. Like it absolutely carried my childhood. I absolutely hate it now that I'm older, especially now like that I see like a lot of problems in the artist. But that artist, I would try to like recreate their drawings almost every day.
So, was your favorite like video game Bendy and the Ink Machine? Then is that why like you got into the comics so much?
Yeah, it was. It was. I hate to say it, but my uncle, like, I was just getting into horror games, and he was like, um, well, there's this horror game where there's a dead body on the table. He's speaking about Boris, by the way, but he's like, there's this dead body on the table, and it's like super freaky. And this is when like this is when the demo came out, by the way, not even the first chapter. And I was like, oh my god, this is so scary. What am I gonna do? And like I looked it up and I was like, oh, I shouldn't do this. I'm like, I forgot how old I was like 8. I was like, no, I wasn't 8. I was like
No, you
12 or
weren't.
something.
No, no.
I was not 8. I think I was like 12. I've been drawing since the 7th grade, 7th, 6th grade.
Yeah, you were
How
not
old?
in seventh grade. Like 13 ish.
13, yeah. So when I was 13, I got into Bendy and Ink Machine, and that was just like that was my thing. I was into the song covers, all the comic doves. It was really embarrassing. I would wear the shirts like, oh my god, I went to like Hot Topic, and I would buy almost every single Bendy and Ink Machine like shirt related. And now, like that, I look in my closet. I just use it as like pajama shirts at this point, or like if I'm doing like a spray painting project or I'm cutting my hair, I like put it on, and I'm just like, because it's a shirt I absolutely don't care about anymore. But I was obsessed with Bendy and Ink Machine. It was really really bad.
That's kind of funny. I mean, I think we all were like around that era. I think we all were into these like indie type games, especially around the time that we were growing up. Like
Mm.
Finance of Freddy's was getting big, Bendy's in the Ink Machine was getting big, and even right now, like you have games like Poppy Playtime or whatever.
Oh my god,
So
Poppy
I
Playtime
mean,
is like it brings back so much like memories of FNAF when we were kids.
yeah, like it kind of makes sense, you know, like that's like your inspiration to first start. But at the same time, I wouldn't expect that to be like the first thing that you would like draw, you know? So, I
Oh
don't know, it
yeah,
just
no,
caught me
it
off guard.
was yeah, it was
And
definitely. That's so embarrassing. I wish I was more of a FNAF kid. I was a FNAF kid, but I didn't do like FNAF fan art. If anything, Bendy and Ink Machine inspired me for art. FNAF gave me nightmares.
dude, I used to do FNAF art, trust me. Probably the bending and ink machine stuff was probably a lot easier to draw. It probably was a lot easier to draw and a lot easier to like, I don't know, produce fan art of.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like because it was so much like Mickey Mouse. Yeah. And
It
I
was
remember
such an
watching this one
iconic
game
design.
theory where it's just like Bendy is just what's that one cartoon character? It wasn't Mickey Mouse, but it was like the guy who's the love interest for Betty Boop. It's like Bendy is just him, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. I nice designs. Pat Pat, I love you.
Everyone loves Matt Pat.
Mm.
I mean, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's but yeah, like switching on to more recent things that you've drawn and animated. You've been honestly, I've tried to look into this, and I think you're one of the like biggest ORV creators on Instagram, at least that I've seen. What got you into that? Like, how did you get into ORV, and what made you be like, that's the niche I'm gonna draw, and that's the niche I'm gonna pick and master?
So originally ORV was not gonna be my niche. Like, I'm an ex Genshin player, thank God. I don't play that game no more. I absolutely hate it now, but originally I was gonna make Genshin fan art and stuff for like an art account. And if you really scroll all the way down, you'll see it. Like I used to draw a lot of like Genshin fan art, which is not my best moments. I'm not gonna lie. But ORV, shoot, before I made content for that, I got into it around shoot 2020 or 2019, one of those years, like the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. When I got into it, it wasn't really big like at all. And I think even when I started making videos for it, it was like just starting to pick up in popularity because of a certain like arc that everyone was waiting for from the novel. Um, so originally, when I got into ORV, there was only 22 chapters of the webcomic out at the time, and I was just getting into like LGBTQ relationships and like Korean novels being popular, and I saw like the two main characters, and I just looked it up as a joke. I was like, oh, these two characters have a lot of chemistry. I wonder if there's like any like fan fiction or like anything of it. And I look it up, and I saw that like a lot of people saw the same vision I had, and like my mind was blown away. I was like, what do you mean this character like dies a lot? By like spoiler warning, in the novel, the main character, he constantly dies like either by sacrifice or just like being stupid, in my opinion. But that's why like everyone loves him. So when I was looking up stuff about the novel, I was like, oh, what do you mean he dies? And that inspired me to read the whole novel, and I absolutely fell in love with it. But I never like drew art of it up until like a year and a half ago when I started making videos for it. I mostly just kept it as like a little thing. And I would always draw like again, it was like originally supposed to be more of a Genshin channel, so I would draw a lot more Genshin stuff. And I heard this one audio. What was it? It was a. Oh, like Kill 'Em Like That audio, such a long time ago. And when I heard it, I was like, you know what'd be funny? Is if I did an ORV like video, you know? And so I made one, and people really liked it. I think on TikTok was the one where that video went viral. And I thought, like, because I know on TikTok it's easier to get followers and stuff, especially like if you're consistent. So I just posted on Instagram on like as a secondary, not thinking I was gonna get anywhere with it. I thought it was only gonna be like TikTok where I was gonna like get a lot of followers and like likes for a specific video. But that video went viral on TikTok, and it was the first time I ever got 10K likes. And I was like, oh my god, I'm famous! You're not famous, by the way, if you get 10K likes on TikTok. Anything can go viral on TikTok, I'm not gonna lie. But it still felt really, really good. On Instagram, it was like barely anything. If anything, at the time, I only got like 20 likes, and everyone was like, what is this? What is this franchise? The video that went viral, though, on Instagram was one where it's just like it was an audio of this girl talking about their dad being like very peaceful and very cutesy, and I was just like, this is perfect because like ORV is a lot about like found family. So I really just like put those two together, and that was the first video that went a little viral for me on Instagram. It 7,000 at the time, and at the time I was like, oh my goodness, this is like I'm completely goated. Internet famous now. I wasn't, but
Hmm.
it was funny to feel that way with these two videos like really popping me off on my channel, and then I just like stay consistent with it. But that's really how like ORV became like my main thing.
I mean, like that's fair enough. I looked through your post like all the way to the bottom, and I could see like the art style changing slightly, but being rather consistent. So, what really influenced your art style, and how do you think it's just stayed decently consistent throughout the time that you've had an Instagram account?
Okay, so there's this funny thing. I read one comment one time that said my art style is giving 80s yaoi vibes, and I think that was the most heartbreaking yet inspiring thing ever. Because at that point, I was like, when I read that comment, I was like, what do you mean it's giving 80s yaoi? I mean, I did read a lot of yaoi throughout the years, but I didn't think it was gonna like really reflect in my art style until I really looked at it at like the big hands, the small heads, the larger shoulders, and I was like completely devastated. But I feel like in a way I still have it, but I kind of use it more as a joke now. Um, but I guess you could say that like 80s yaoi was my inspiration in my art style. But being consistent, I believe like I am consistent, but I changed my art style a few times. I really was trying to figure out what would be the easiest and fastest way for me to push out content. Like back then, I was making around, I tried to make a video every 2 to 3 days. um Now I only try to make one once a week to like really balance it out, and I'm like trying to do bigger projects soon. Like I'm thinking of making this comic and a Patreon for my followers, just because I need a little support, and like I also kind of love making comics and stuff, so I'm gonna try to do that as a future project, and that's really what I've been working on with my spare time. um but in the beginning, sorry, I had to cough a little bit, but in the beginning, my art style was like I try to make it as detailed as possible as I can. Like I try to make the hair like super scratchy, make it really fun. Try to add blush. Try to make the clothes like all detailed and stuff. Um, and in the beginning, that was really working until like I started to like get burnout, and I was like, ooh, what can I do to really like fasten up my art style? So then I tried a different style where, and instead of harsh blacks, I would lower the opacity and just have it like a gray, so that I wouldn't have to really color everything in and focus on like what needed to be lighting, like what needed more light and what didn't need more light, because it was very exhausting. And then later, I tried something else where I did black, like all black, for like the main character's clothing and stuff, and their hair, because their hair is black. But I would do it so the style would be more scratchy. And then now I found a style that I really like where it's black, and I mostly am like the hair, there's like just that lighting in the middle that's very basic. Um and I think it's really helped me like push out content better. I've also changed like the recording style too. In the beginning, it was very like side, like I was recording on my screen, but now I've just like drawn the frames in, and when I draw the frames like in like my iPad or whatever, and I just put them like the frames as they are versus just trying to record the transitions, which has relieved a lot of stress on making videos.
Yeah, fair enough. And circling back to when you said you wanted to make a Patreon and comics, are they gonna be like original comics, or are they gonna be like redraws of ORV, or are they gonna be fan art of comics?
I'm thinking what I want to do is I kind of want to do like an alternate universe of ORV that for a comic instead of like original stuff, because I know original stuff doesn't always get like the best traction unless you really start from the beginning. Um, but I know that I do like making alternate universes, and I think it'd be fun to like how people make like a nerd and jock AU or like um, a scientist AU of like different fandoms. It's like the same media, but it's like them in different like situations. And I'm thinking of doing something like that would be really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the vision, but as you're obviously a fan of multiple different fandoms, will you be incorporating like a Sonic, for example, within the Patreon, or like because you posted on your Instagram a few times, like once or twice. Do you think you'll be posting more about that in the future, or is it just like a one or two time thing?
I think I started a side account where I'm really gonna post all my other stuff because as much as I love like multiple different fandoms, I feel like because I mostly made my account about ORV, I can't really like put different like stuff in there. But I do want to do like when I do start a Patreon, I do want to do a thing where like any of the members can like give a suggestion once a month and I'll draw it. But circling back to like the Sonic thing, oh, I absolutely adore Sonic. I adore multiple different medias. It's not just ORV that I'm like completely obsessed with. But I don't want like my fans to get like bored of my content or anything. So that's why like I just have a separate account where I'm gonna put like all my other stuff. Which I believe I called. I don't even remember my own side account's name. I barely post on there, but it's like Rarepair 3. I just like using my user and then adding a different number at the end to really establish the many different accounts I have to like post different things because I can't ever be consistent with anything other than the ORV, honestly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, first of all, yeah, it is Repair 3. So you got that right. Second of all, what other fandoms are you into? Because you posted Sonic, you posted about um, I heard I forgot the media itself, but was it Dead by Daylight or was it because it was a zombies game?
No,
I forgot the name. I
you're all
can't
you're
believe
chilling.
I forgot. That's
But since you know
embarrassing.
me in real life, you should know it by now. I'm joking. Um, Devil May Cry.
I know Devil May Cry, but also the other one that Leon's a part of it. Leon, like
Resident Evil!
Resident Evil. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna get you. Oh my god. Dude, it's on my steering wheel.
Look, everyone makes mistakes. Okay.
Dead by Daylight, that's a big mistake right there. That's absolutely crazy. Anyways, while you go on a little laughing fit, you embarrass yourself, I'm gonna talk about my favorite things now. Sonic, Resident Evil, and Devil May Cry are the absolute things that I love right now. I have a lot of other things, but those are like the things that have just caught my obsession. Oh, and also Deltarune. Oh my god, my Rarepair 3 account's gonna be getting so much Deltarune. I swear, it's like I just watched like all the gameplay of chapters 1 to 4. I don't know, like I can't really spoil anything because I think the fandom doesn't really like spoilers a lot. But all I can say is that Chris and Susie are my goats. I love them so much, and I love Noel too. Birdley, I don't know how to say his name that well. Maybe a hot take. I don't like him. I think he's super annoying, but that's okay. Circling back to things I may can also spoil. I can't believe you. I can't believe you said Resident Evil was Dead by Daylight. Are we even friends? Do you even know me?
I'm sorry, I forgot. I actually my partner also loves like oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. That's so
I know. I
embarrassing.
was gonna say out
Yeah.
of everything to forget, it's the Resident Evil one.
Oh my god, it's so embarrassing.
That
Um
is so embarrassing. You better hope your partner doesn't listen to this episode.
Yeah, password error number one, I guess.
Hmm.
Ooh, it's gonna make a great clip when I actually like make an account for it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Um, but Resident Evil. Okay, so I'm gonna like. My name is Rarepair because I like Rarepair guys. So I love Dante X Leon. I know it's crazy. They're from like completely two different games. But listen to me when I tell you, nothing is safe to ship in Devil May Cry. I swear to God, they're all related, or like either like Trish and Dante. Trish looks and is the copy of Dante's mom. So there's, sorry, I have to cough. I'm so excited now. Um, Trish is the carbon copy of Dante's mom. There's no winning there, and everything else is just no. And for me, media, I know this is like wrong, but like for me to get into media, I just need to love a ship. I'm not gonna lie. I need to be obsessed with two characters that need to be romantically deadly in love with each other. And with Leon and Resident Evil, you can ship him with anyone, I think, honestly. But I saw one fan art of Dante X Leon, and I think that like chemically changed my brain. Like it like actually like something happened when I was sleeping. Like there was doctors in my room or something that surgically removed like parts of my brain to just love Dante X Leon. Two characters from two like completely different games, although they're from the same company. So and in the anime, which by the way, guys, don't watch the Devil May Cry anime. It's actually the new one specifically because it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's really bad. Like the animation's good, but the director and like what they did with the characters completely I absolutely hate. I only watched it for one thing, and that's the fact that they mentioned Raccoon City and that Dante was there. So like guys, Dante X Leon makes sense. It makes sense, guys, if you think about it. Because Leon, Raccoon City, Dante has been in Raccoon City before. Guys, it's like they were meant to be together.
I can't believe my episode has been hijacked by Dante X Leon content.
Please. Yeah, literally, that's the problem with me on an episode is the fact that like once you get me like on one certain like one of my interests IRL, it's gonna be a takeover. Password Journal Takeover by Rarepair 5.
um, let's. I'm gonna switch the topics real quick. So this whole episode doesn't become a Resident Evil Devil May Cry episode. So let's talk about what platforms you're on. You're on TikTok. You're on Instagram. Have you been posting on YouTube? Because um, I've asked a few people about YouTube in general, and I'm gonna ask you about YouTube as well. You've talked about it in the past to me in private, but have you decided to post on there yet? And if you have, would you post the same type of content, or will you switch it up and make longer form videos, or will it just stick to the shorts?
So I do post on YouTube. It's my same handle is the same, Rarepair 5. So I post mainly shorts on YouTube, and originally in the beginning, I was gonna post on YouTube because I think people who watch like shorts, I'm not gonna lie, me stereotyping here, but I think people who watch shorts are a little brain dead. But that's just my personal opinion. So that's why hot take, hot controversial take. YouTube Shorts damages the brain. Um, but that's really any content though. But I was like really avoidant of doing YouTube Shorts because I was like, of course my content are shorts like reels and like for the For You page on TikTok, but I was like, might as well post some of the videos on YouTube because why not? And I did, and I actually have 1,000 followers on YouTube. Surprisingly, oh excuse me, I had a cough again. Um, yeah, I have 1,000 followers on YouTube. I don't know why people like my shorts on there, but if anything, if I get any hate comments or in any way, which I don't usually do, it's on YouTube. Like one time,
Really?
they were like, "Oh, where's his forehead?" I'm like, guys, I was animating it, okay, for the first time. I mean, of course, I don't defend myself. I really don't really reply to comments unless they're like super supportive. Only because I don't want to exhaust myself, and I'm kind of like always scared to read comments sometimes. But they're always so positive. I genuinely love the community that follows me, and it makes me genuinely so happy. Like when I see people um being like, because sometimes I've been a little short on the weekly upload, so people will be like, I missed you, and I'm like, I miss, as if I don't have like 18,000 followers on Instagram.
I mean, yeah, like honestly, again, like back to the hate comment type of thing. Honestly, it's all like just it's just online stuff because like even for the most like famous people who have like millions of haters online, you'll they'll never get hate in person because like most the hate that exists online only exists in that little bubble of you know the internet. You'd almost never get hate like in public or in person. So I don't know. I just think that if this is for anyone, this is not just for you. If anyone ever hates on your product online, just ignore them. They're probably just like sitting in their little dark cave, just trying to hate on everyone because they're not successful like you. Like, come on.
Mm,
So just think positively and you'll achieve whatever you want to achieve. That's my tip.
that's genuinely such a good message because, like you said, there's someone in a dark cave who, if they do have a job, they're taking time out of their day from their job to just type something completely hateful. And you have to think about, like, wow, that's a loser right there.
100%. Like that's why I don't know. I just like even when I used to post like on my TikTok, I used to get hate comments on my jerseys, and I used to be insecure and delete them. But now I'm just like, why? Like it's just some poor dude who wishes he has a jersey or something. Like, why am I so worried about what someone else has to say online? Like, they're not gonna see me in person and be like, "Hey, your collection sucks." They're gonna be like, "Oh, hey, like you have such a cool collection, like there's so many jerseys, yada yada yada." And I'm just using me as an example. Genuinely, online hate almost always baffles me. Like, especially if it's like so undeserved. I don't know, it just never makes sense.
No, you're so right. It's just like I said, they're honestly losers. And like I like the funny ones, but people who genuinely think that spreading hate on the internet is like a good way to get your opinion out there, they don't have a life. They've just been so chronically online that excuse me, sorry, I have like a little cough, so that's why I've been coughing. But
Very
they
good.
genuinely don't have a life to the point where like if they go outside they'll burn. I'm being so serious. Like someone who leaves a hate comment, I swear to God, give them garlic, they're gonna burn.
Cause I don't know, they're just vampires. They're just like, dude, they just suck all the energy and all like the life out of anything that's positive, and it sucks.
No,
Um,
it's so true.
Sorry, I went on a little tangent, but I'm gonna ask you a few more questions before I, let you go real quick. Um, so have you ever worked with any other artists on anything, like a group project or something like that? And how did that go, if you have?
So I did do one big collab one time where it was like we all got like an ORV character and whatchamacallit, we all drew them like in a mafia outfit, I guess. Which it was great, but there was some like issues with like one of the creators kind of like, in my opinion, being a little too pushy on some things and like kind of being a little overwhelming in a way. Um but I won't say who they were, but the collab went by pretty well. Um I think everyone really enjoyed it, or I enjoyed drawing my part, but some of the artists were I think it was because of this one person, but I don't really want to say it, but I just said it, so there we go. But I think it was because of this one person, but they said like that their art because the collab took so long, they didn't really want to post their art from like a month ago because they thought it was like it wasn't the best that they could do. So when it came time to posting the collab, they not everyone did it. Like not everyone posted their part. I posted my part because I worked hard in it and I wanted to show it off. Not everyone did, and this with collab was a while back ago. This is when I had 9,000 followers. I hadn't even hit 10K yet, but that was like I think that's it. I'm planning to do some collabs with my friends. I'm also friends with Holographic Rosewater. I love them so much. Um, but I'm planning to do collabs with like them and some other friends someday to like really just like more friend stuff and nothing really too serious.
Hey, that's I mean that's gonna be fun for sure. Um, and if I can, maybe get a sneak peek or maybe an idea of what you guys are gonna post, like, you guys have any information you want to give out?
Um, I mostly so there's this other creator. I'm gonna maybe butcher them, but Lunatic. I think that's how I said it. I think that's how you say it. But they're also an IRL friend, and we plan a lot of stuff with like our OCs and like our personas, and really just like having fun. Like those fun audios, like the Rock Your Body or like other ones on TikTok, like some of those, but with like our personas. We plan a little bit of.
Oh, that's cute. That's really nice. Sorry. Yeah. So again, I'm gonna ask about art. Let's completely switch up the subject again, or not really, but do you have any plans with this? Not only this account, but do you have any plans for art in general for the future, or is it just like a fun side hobby and whatever happens just kind of happens?
So I definitely want art in the future to be my career, which is why I'm in like college to like really establish that. And I'm gonna try to do internships, and I really just want to work for video game companies in general, and like really like either rig or like make the models they do, because honestly, like I love ORV and what it's done, but my main inspiration in life and art has always been video games. Like vending machine is, and as I just went back on the tangent, the Resident Evil. No, I will not go back there. But Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and just like Final Fantasy. Shoot, I love Final Fantasy and Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts, my beloved. Um, all of these games really helped me grow into the artist I am now, and I genuinely want to give that feeling to another person. I was gonna say another kid. I'm not a kid, but to like another human being. That inspirational feeling of like um, playing a game and just being completely enamored in another world, which is kind of like reading too, which is another reason why I love ORV. So that's my plan. As for my accounts, though, those are a hobby. Those are my side thing. Maybe if the Patreon thing works out, I can maybe be able to like use that as a really big boost into what I want to do. And if the Patreon thing like really hits off, I doubt it will, but if it really hits off, then maybe like I'll just like do that as a career. But my main goal is to really work for a video game company and do what I can. And really, my accounts are just something on the side I like to do for fun and really just like help myself be consistent and in all honesty.
All right, and one final question I have to ask you before I send you on your way. What video game company are you really eyeing, and would you really want to work for?
Okay, so realistically wise, Activision, because I know someone there that could help me get an internship there. But dream wise, like if I could go to my dream studio, it would either be Capcom or Square Enix, because those two hold my favorite games of all time. Square Enix is more of a Japanese company where they're the ones who make Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, which are like the two things I absolutely love as well. Um, and if I get to work there, I think it would be like an absolute dream because they make some of the best stories in my opinion. And as much as I love Capcom for like their Devil May Cry and Resident Evil, I think their stories are kind of basic, but I like their graphics a lot more. I feel like lately with Square Enix, they've taken the joy and whimsy out of their games. Like I love Kingdom Hearts, but the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm not gonna lie, kind of looks very real. It puts too much real in fantasy, and it takes like that aspect that I loved about the old Kingdom Hearts of like mystical and like unrealistic graphics, and it makes it so it's kind of sad now. Like the main character Sora, his hair is completely like lost all its fluff, and I'm like, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful. Now look at you. You're ugly. I'm joking. He's not ugly. Kind of the hair, But and again with like Final Fantasy, I feel like they're starting to get so realistic to the point where it's like it's not fun anymore. You're just like it's the consumer rate. You care more about putting out something versus the um the art of it. And that's what I also want to bring that back to video game companies and to like video games in general. It's just it's not about putting out something as fast as you can. It's about really loving it and like giving out like you're giving your child away to the world and you want them to like love it. Like indie games, for example. I love this new game in Stars in Time. Not new, but I to me it's new. Like in Stars in Time, that is absolutely gorgeous, and the amount of work and effort put into it is absolutely amazing. Um, and it's because it's such a small project and it's not about everyone else. It's really about like the artists and their like creativity that it's so beautiful. Another thing with Deltarune, like Toby Fox, absolute goat of anything. His indie games, just like music, he puts his soul into it, and it basically just makes everything better. And that's really what I want to bring. Like, if anything, Square Enix, I want to work for them to make them more joy and whimsical. I want that joy and whimsy back. You know, um, Capcom, I need your stories to be just a tiny bit better and not a repeat of everything. Just a tiny bit. But you did kind of pop off with Devil May Cry 5. I will tell you that. But and I really want that new Resident Evil game to come out. But other than that, it's like your stories are kind of like, eh. But definitely or the reason why I say Activision is realistic for me is because of I have a connection there that can really like get me there. It's something I'm not really good at first person shooter games, but it's Call of Duty and stuff like that. But I feel like it'll also be helpful. The person that I know there has like taught me so much already about like going into the industry and what I can be doing to get there. And I'm hoping that with this first like step can really lead me to like doing what I want to do and like that impact in the art industry of like bringing back hopeful and joyousness in those games.
Hmm. Well, first of all, you answered like almost all the questions I was gonna ask between like half the things that you were saying, which is like, how can you read my mind? And second of all, thank you so much for like an amazing episode. Again, I know you're really busy, especially in the coming like week. I'm really appreciative of your time, and I'm just really grateful that we can have not only an amazing episode, but you also spared me like an hour of your time pretty much, and we had technical issues earlier. So yeah, like forever thankful. And if there's anything you want to shout out right now, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you for having me on here. I'm
Of
very
course, dude.
honored when you asked me to
Honor's
be.
all mine.
Huh? Oh, the
Honor's
honor's
all
all
mine.
yours. No, no, I'm honored enough that you think I'm famous enough to kind of be on a podcast. I think that's absolutely amazing. Um, Shout out to my friend at Hollow Rosewater. I love you so much. Crash Kid, I love you so much. Looney, I love you too. Any other shout outs? No. Honestly, like every ORV artist out there, thank you for also carrying the community, because like even though um our lovely like host said that I carry the ORV community, it's simply not true. There's so many other amazing ORV artists out there that deserve recognition. And I just like can't think of them right now at the top of my head. But um they really do. They also inspired me to start like ORV content as well. And just I'm so thankful for every ORV artist out there and every artist out there in general. Like it's just so like it's such a hard life like artist life right now because of AI, but don't let
100%.
AI discourage you. Keep your creativity out there. Like the moment you stop being creative and letting AI take over is the moment that we truly lose it. And again, thank you so much, Password, for having me on here. It was such a great episode and a great time talking.
Yeah, of course. First of all, amazing what you just said about AI, and I gotta think of a better way or better note to end this on. And with that all being said, thank you for listening to Pastor's Journal. We will see you again, same time next week.